Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Workman. I am the man of constant hatred. Welcome back to Just Born Movies, the show where we take movies straight out of the Hollywood womb and we dissect them for you. My guest this week is Manny Classic. Manny, what did we see this week?
This week we saw Red Sparrow. Red Sparrow is a movie starring Jennifer Lawrence where she learns the art of seduction in order to infiltrate an American spy, played by Joel Edgerton, to try to extract some information from him for the Russian government.
Yay.
I was told to take a man to a hotel. They said he was an enemy of the state.
Take off your dress.
And in exchange, my mother would get the doctor she needed. Instead, they cut his throat. There could be no witnesses. So they gave me a choice. Die or become a sparrow.
Alright, how do we feel about this film?
Okay, so I will say this. This is the best movie Jennifer Lawrence has been in since Mother. This exists as a movie.
Holy shit.
I would say it's the worst movie in her filmography. There's not a lot going on for this film at all, and I feel like a lot of what the hype is around this movie is Jennifer Lawrence naked.
Yeah, I feel this film exists for that purpose, which, honestly, I'm a grown man. I have seen naked women. I'm good now. I don't even know what else to say. Like, there's going to be so much hype around just that one scene. A lot like Halle Berry and Swordfish, where Swordfish just seemed to kind of exist for Halle Berry's boobs.
Which is really weird for me, because Monsters Ball had Halle Berry's breast and was a much better film.
Much better film. And she won an Academy Award for that.
That's right.
So, Jennifer Lawrence already has an Academy Award. This film is awful. I don't know any other way to put it. It's a mess. There's not much going on that is interesting.
So, this film, I feel honestly could have been a huge success. I don't like The Hunger Games, but it was a huge commercial success.
Yeah.
And the team of Lawrence and Lawrence here, as director and star, produced 4 movies that did a lot of money, even though watching them, honestly, 3 of them were mildly entertaining. The third film, which is the first half of the adaptation of the last book, was just exposition. I guess if you're the type of person that liked Episode 1 of Star Wars, you might like Hunger Games Movie 3, because it's just a lot of exposition.
Part 3, Part 1.
That's right. But this movie does absolutely nothing with... It does absolutely nothing, and the hardest part to me is it does absolutely nothing with the all-star cast.
Oh, God, this cast is so good. This movie's so tepid. Like, there's
Jennifer Lawrence,
no
Joel
excuse.
Edgerton, Jeremy Irons,
Charlotte Roos.
Yeah.
What's her name from Weeds?
Gee, we were just talking about this last night.
Yeah, we sure were. Mary Louise Parker.
There we go.
Mary Louise Parker. Like, there's so many good actors and actresses in this cast. There's no reason this movie should have been this bad, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, honestly, out of everyone in the cast, probably the best person, in my opinion, is Charlotte Roos.
Probably.
Who plays the matron, who's the woman who runs this Sparrow school. And if you've ever seen the show Dexter, at one point Charlotte Roos shows up as his psychiatrist, kind of. It's almost that role again. She's very stern, but she's really great with the very limited amount of screen time that she ends up getting.
She definitely makes a huge impact on the film. Because there's not much impact to be had. I mean, I think Jennifer Lawrence turns in a real mediocre performance. Joel Edgerton, who's also, like Jennifer Lawrence, also so good in a lot of things, and probably one of the more interesting filmmakers out there right now. He just is kind of going through the motions, and nothing seems to be happening in this film. I can't even think of scenes. Like, they try to be shocking. There's some majorly violent scenes in the film. There's a lot of like what's supposed to be scintillating sex and whatnot in the film, and it's boring.
Yeah, there's some plot twists and turns that last week we were talking about Annihilation, and Joe brought up that he was able to predict each one of the kind of the order in which people would end up getting picked off, and we talked about how being able to kind of predict and see these things isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when you build your movie as a series of twists and turns and kind of double backs and double crosses, predictability is the last thing you want. And this movie is far too predictable for the amount of twist.
Yeah, they set up what is essentially is going to be a twist near the end of the film. They set it up very early. It's the inciting incident that shoots everything off. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to go into what it is, because if you end up seeing this movie, we'll let you deal with it. But as soon as that twist is set up, about 5 minutes later, you know it. You know what the twist is going to be at the end of the film. I mean, this is set up in the first 15 minutes of the film. This film is 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it is unfortunately long.
2 hours ahead of finding out the twist, you're already there. And the rest of the 2 hours is just ploddingly slow.
Yeah.
And not fun to watch.
And if we were doing a more spoiler review, I really want to talk about the plot so much, because it attempts to tell you that the sexualization of these characters is a necessity in order for all of the things of the plot to happen, while at the same time, Jennifer Lawrence's character is kind of against this in her mind, but the film keeps ramming this same message down your throat. It's almost like it doesn't know what message it wants to tell you. It's like, hey, sex is great, and we can use it in this way and this way. But the character itself is like, well, we shouldn't be doing this, and I'm not really about this, but I'm going to give in to doing this because it's required and necessary for things that I've decided I want to do. It's confusing to its own message, to a detriment to the plot itself.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of movies that give you a message and have its main character rebel against that message, and at the end it ends up getting tied up in either an enlightening way or a way that forces you to think about what the message is. This just creates muddle and backbiting on its own message in a way that is detrimental to not only the plot, but the actors in terms of how they're supposed to perform on screen. Mm-hmm. It is confusing and murky.
Yeah. That's not to say that the writing is confusing, and the plot itself is confusing and murky. It's all straightforward. It's just what they're trying to say with it. Yeah. Because you get Jennifer Lawrence, and she's supposed to be kind of at arm's length for the audience. So the things she does are really confusing, as a matter of who are you supposed to be? Because we don't really get to know her very, very well. I mean, you kind of get who she is and why she's doing this specific task. But outside of that, it's just... It seems to be a mystery to the writer and the director of how exactly the mystery is supposed to be played. Because, I don't know, all the twists and turns are just unbelievably droll.
Mm-hmm. If there's any good out of this, cinematography again.
It's
a very pretty movie.
It's a very pretty film, and the score is fine. I believe James Newton Howard did the score. It's fine. It tries to play up the tension that isn't there, so it just kind of feels out of place from time to time. But in a better film, I could see this being a really tight and really interesting score. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, it's in this film, and it just doesn't play.
Yeah.
Sorry, James. Mr. Howard. This film was kind of a chore to watch. I wouldn't suggest it to literally anyone. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It doesn't need to be that long. You could probably cut about half an hour to 40 minutes out of this film and have a much tighter, faster paced, more intriguing script. There's really not much that's positive about it outside of technical elements that don't really save the film in any way. So it's always a shame that people do such hard work to essentially just let a director kill their productivity. This is that film based on our scale. I'm going damn awful.
Most films, even if I think they're pretty bad, I just tell you to wait till Netflix or something, watch it while pretty much you're getting it for free. Don't. It is a regrettable waste of time in almost every conceivable way outside of technical elements, the cinematography and the score and things like that.
I mean, if you're trying to put yourself to sleep and you have some kind of bad insomnia, this is the way to go.
Yeah, we've heard of a few people falling asleep while watching this film, so it's just a thing. Mm-hmm. Based on our scale, damn awful.
Damn awful.
Sorry. Sorry about your damn luck.
So what did you think of Red Sparrow? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Leave a comment down below and let us know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the other shows on our channel. Drinking Age Movies, where Manny Classic and myself watch films that are 21 years old. Damn Fine Meats, where Manny Classic makes damn fine meats based off of those movies. And our new show, Heavy Drinking, a monthly show where we delve into movie series and filmographies of directors.